All
Okay.
right, welcome back to another episode of what is this? What do we call this? It's a tech catch up. We are joined today by our very lovely friends here. I don't know where this is going, but we have James with the purple lighting and a very nice Panasonic fan in the background. Yes.
They won't be able to see it in
yeah.
my camera. They only can see in the you
Yeah.
guys can see in the webcam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And it's
we
not
have,
Panasonic, okay? It's Honeywell. Whatever that.
What?
I don't know.
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah.
So Canadian.
I never heard of it until now.
So Canadian.
Honeywell.
Yeah, and of course we have our superstar of the tech review world, Mr. Sean Cole himself from Sean
Hello.
Cole YouTube.
Stop making fun
Yeah.
of my channel name.
We're still doing that. Okay.
Just because I don't have an
No, I think
alternate name
it's
for it.
original. It's very original. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like WWE wrestlers. Last time you have like the Hulk, Ultimate Warrior. Now it's like John Cena.
Oh yeah. Just call me
Yeah.
by my actual name, please.
Yeah.
Yes, Sean Cole. Yes,
Yeah.
let that sink into your head. Welcome back, guys. It's been a while.
long while.
We have been through much changes. I have
Oh, yes.
grown more of a beard and a mustache. That's all that's changed. I've even gotten some LED lighting. But on to more realistic changes. James has moved. James,
Yes.
how are you doing? How are you doing all the
Across
way
the
over there?
world.
Across the
Yeah,
world.
all the way to Canada. I cannot possibly get further away from these guys. But we're still doing a podcast, so that's the wonders of technology.
Yes, that is.
Yeah, arrived 6 weeks, I think. Yeah, about
Oh,
7 weeks, I think. I think closer to 7
You
weeks.
quarantined 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, quarantine 2 weeks. So even the 2 weeks was split. So first I did a 3-day quarantine in Vancouver. That was like mandatory. I needed to quarantine 3 days at the first port of entry. Yeah, so to do like the COVID test, so did that one. After that, the 3 days was fine. Came to Calgary, stayed in another hotel for 11 days. That one was nice. The Vancouver hotel wasn't great, but the Calgary hotel was very nice. Then after that, came to my permanent place, more or less settled in. Got some furniture. I've actually got another channel that I created just to document my entire move. All right, so
Plug
out.
it in.
Yeah,
Plug
I'll put it in. So go check it out.
animation.
Yeah, so if you want to know the personal side
Everything.
of me, yeah, So it's been nice. I'm gonna be doing my first like touristy trip soon. I'm going to Banff
Nice.
in August with some
Ooh,
friends.
damn.
What is there?
Is what season is it gonna be in?
By then it'll be
Winter, right,
it's still it's still
August in
summer. It's still
Canada.
summer. I believe autumn starts in September. So it'll still be summer, but it's getting cold. Like this morning I woke up, it was 10 degrees.
Oh, dang.
Ooh.
Yeah. And the thing
But
about me is
you-
that when it gets really cold, which I enjoy, but my nose gets a bit runny.
Oh,
But-
dear.
Yeah. But it's much better than before. When it arrived in Canada, just the same freaking day that I got out of quarantine, the heat wave started in Canada. I don't know if you guys know about it. We had a really bad heat wave. It was worse in BC. But there was one day it was 38 degrees here.
Oh, damn.
And it's like it's a different kind of hot to Singapore, where it's not humid, it's dry. So the sun just burns your face.
Yeah. It's like standing in front of an oven, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's like unfettered access to burn my face, no humidity
yeah.
kind of thing to block.
Wow, it's
it's
crazy.
it's ridiculous.
I think I experienced that in Thailand.
Yeah, I experienced that in Australia. You know, Australia can get really hot.
Oh yeah.
And there was one day where it was, I think, 40. And like everybody was just trying to get to the malls because they have air conditioning.
Mhm.
But even the walk from the car park to the mall was like scorching. It's like the wind was blowing fire
Yeah.
in your face. Kind
Oh,
of thing.
damn.
Yeah, it's crazy. But now the cool thing about this place is that it still can get sunny, but you get it's cold. Like I was doing some test shots for Aftershock, right? And I bought some. By the way, I bought some new gear. One of the new things I bought was a motorized slider from GVM.
Nice.
So I was
GVM.
yeah, it's like a budget one lah. Like the two most popular budget motorized sliders are like GVM and Canova. And just after I bought this GVM, Canova released a new one, which I'm then pissed about. Never mind. But yeah, so I went out. So just outside my house, there's like a nice park bench. You got sun, you got trees. So I did like a rotating shot with me using the upshot. I thought it looks so nice. It's crazy. But just that I was missing an ND filter. So I ordered an ND filter. It came online. It arrived yesterday. So I'm gonna do another test tomorrow.
Sweet.
Nice.
So is this slider does it pan or does it go left and right?
It only goes left and right because it's dependent on the bar in the slider itself.
The setting bar, the
so you like the angle
it.
bar one. It's not like the Rhino. I can't afford that, man. The Rhino I think costs the same as the Canon R6 already.
Right. But I mean, it's quite ingenious, right? The way that they invented this bar.
Yeah, it is quite clever. Like, and even like how much at the angle you put, like determines how much of a angle it turns in.
Yeah.
So
I think you gotta shoot a demo and clip it into this podcast for us to see.
Yeah.
It's a bit hard
I'll
for
put
people to understand when they haven't seen it before.
True. I'll put the test shots that I did. It's overexposed, but just to give you an idea of how
just underexpose your mind.
Yes, underexpose it in your brain. Yeah.
Right. What other since it's a tech podcast, what other gear that you get?
Okay. Well, a lot of stuff I brought over. Some are still coming over. Like if you see, this is not the Q9U, which is my favorite podcast mic so far. This is actually a mic that was sent to me by a company called, and interestingly, it's pronounced Fine. It's FIFINE, but it's pronounced Fine. I don't know why. But yeah, so they sent over this mic to test, and the timing was perfect because we've got this podcast coming up. So I'm like, okay, I'll try it out. But I'm going to do a separate review. It's quite cool.
Any features?
Well, it's more of a budget mic. I think it's about 80 US or 80 Canadian. I can't remember. Yeah. But it comes with this sort of like a hard pop filter here, which you can remove. You've got a gain control on the mic itself.
Nice.
Okay. And you've got a mute button, normal, and you've also got a headphone out. So that's quite cool in the sense that if you don't want cables all over the place, just plug it in straight away here. You've got
all right. So 80 Canada.
I think so. Let me look for it on Amazon.
Because that's a really good price. I mean, for a microphone.
On the other hand, I'm just using a $30.
Wait, Chinese Canadian dollars is so close to Singapore dollars.
It's almost identical. It's almost identical.
Yeah.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah, the Canadian dollar is slightly stronger. So the last time I checked, and this depends on where you check, but it's on average about 1 Singapore dollar to about 91 cents Canadian.
Negligible.
Yeah, no, negligible in small amounts. When I brought over a lot of money, I lost a few $100. I was like, what the hell, man?
Bro, are you saving your invoices? Because you can get tax return when you come back.
I can?
I believe so. That's what I did in Australia.
Really?
I bought my Sony. I bought a lot of my gear in Australia.
Yeah,
and
you
then
can
I
get
did
tax
my
return.
tax return like right before I left.
Yeah. I heard about that. But you have to
Yeah.
be back in Singapore within like 1 or 2 years, something like that, right?
I can't remember, but it's worth checking out if you're going to save all that GST or whatever they call it there.
Well, I mean, all of it is on Amazon, so I've got invoices for everything soft. I can just download
Yeah,
it.
it's
That's
just a
not- that's not
bitch
an
to
issue.
like just do the documents at the end, but yeah, it's worth it. It's so worth it.
Oh. But anyway, so it's 80, it's 80 Canadian, which is like probably what,
That's
80,
super
80,
affordable.
84. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the closest competitor to it would be the Becky EM91CU, which is great because it comes with free software. Comes with a free like a light DAW, EMP software as well. I did a review of that, so go check it out. But yeah, actually those the two Mackie mics, the Samsung Q9U, a whole bunch of other stuff, my Prism monitors, everything, some parts for my CPU.
You brought the prisms over.
Yeah. They're all being shipped over and they're delayed by like a month. They were supposed to arrive by they were supposed to arrive by now. Yeah, but now it's looking
container, right? Using container to ship.
Yeah, container shipping. So it was supposed to arrive sometime like now. Like the estimated arrival was like yesterday. But now it's going to reach Vancouver before Calgary. Vancouver is going to reach August 11.
My gosh.
So I might get it like end of August. So a lot of my other videos, like I'm doing a video for Dreamcore that's delayed. I'm doing a video for Seagate, like for my NAS build that's also delayed. It's just frustrating.
I mean, what other gear besides the slider, the mic,
that I bought, right? So
the
I
camera?
bought you guys can see in the video. So I've got a Govee SL60
Oh,
light. Sorry, not Govee, Godox. Sorry.
That's like, what is
Govee.
Govee?
Sorry,
It's
no,
like-
Govee is something else. I'll show you in a bit. But Godox,
Okay.
yeah. So I bought the
Godox
SL60.
SL what?
XL60W. So it's a
so this
60 watt.
SLW. There's a bi-color version and a daylight version, is it?
I think this is bi-color. No, this might be single color actually because it's quite cheap.
Can you
It's only
change the
100
color
plus.
temperature?
I don't think so. I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just shopping with a friend for some lights like these because he wanted to get back into making YouTube videos. He has been like he has been on the back end of Millennials of Singapore, you know. But he
right.
wants
Yeah,
to
yeah.
continue what he used to do, which was do like music covers and stuff like that. So we were looking around Funan for like the SL60 especially. I think it's really worth it. I think it's a good budget friendly light. But they also came out with this something
Amaranth?
No. Also Godox.
Oh,
SL60
okay.
M or M60 or something like that. 60
Yeah.
M.
The M
Yeah.
series is like black and yellow lining. That's like
Yeah.
that's
It's a
supposed to
very
be better
compact-
quality. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know about the SL60. Is it using a Bowen's mount? You know,
Bowen's mount.
Okay, good. Because the other model, I'm just going to quickly Google what it is. I think it's a Godox 60M or something like ML60. Yeah, that's the word. ML60. It's a really small version of that. But the thing is that the mount for the light modifiers are a proprietary one. So which means it's a Godox mount. So it's so annoying that they even made an adapter for Bowen's mount. So you can still do it, but it's like, why go through all that
Makes
trouble?
no sense.
Yeah. And the light is so small and tiny that your modifier might just pull the whole thing down. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Actually, speaking of that, that's why my Godox is on I bought like a solid C stand, which now I think is overkill.
Yeah.
Because this room is so small and the C stand is taking up so much space.
Oh yeah, C stands are the worst.
Yeah. No, but I thought it'd be fine because it was going to be a static thing. I don't really shoot out. But yeah. But anyway, I don't regret the purchase. It will come in useful one day.
Get some tennis balls for the feet so it doesn't scratch the floor.
My floors are carpeted actually, so it's fine.
Oh wow.
Yeah, which is good audio wise as well. So I don't have to worry about that. Yeah. What else did I buy? I bought so I bought 2 tripods. I bought one tripod first, and then I put the what do you call that? Like the slider on it. And as the camera moved, the whole thing went. I was like, oh shit.
Welcome to my world.
So I bought a second
Now
tripod.
You know.
Actually, I was gonna ask you, Sean, like, do they have like special like monopod legs that you can install so I can just use one tripod?
There are actually these reinforcing legs that kind of make a V shape down back to your tripod. So what it does is like you mount your slider using the middle mount, right? And then these arms, these extra stabilizers, they connect to the ends of each of the slider sides, and then it goes back down on to clamp onto your tripod legs. So it acts as a brace, you know.
Okay, like, I'll look for that. Do you know what they're called?
I think it's called brace. Yeah. If you just type in slider tripod brace, you'll be able to find.
Nice. I'll probably get that. It's such a pain to like hold 2 tripods and carry it around.
It's so stupid. That's why I make very careful decisions when I bring up my my slider. Sometimes it's just not worth it. Yeah, but I might even think about getting these. There are some cheap ones for like $44. It goes all the way up to the Canova one, which is $120. So got a good range there. But yes, welcome to my world of sliders and its problems.
Yeah, and it's poisonous also. Like every time I buy something, I want to buy something else. I'm like, I just freaking arrived in Canada and I spent like, I think I can't remember, but by the time I'm done with everything, it'll be 10,000 at least. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm still at the lower level of not using sliders, and like, I mean, James gave me one slider, so I made use of that once. That
one's a regular manual slider, so that one takes more skill because you have to really have steady hands, which I don't.
Think of it that way. You're gonna be more skilled.
If you get that, if you get that working, which I couldn't, because what is that? I've got very shaky hands.
Yeah.
And
I
I got shaky hands.
I just found a way. So for me, I just like reduce one side of the tripod height a bit, and then the thing will just auto move on its own.
Oh, okay.
I tried
noticed
that.
my image in production.
If it works, man.
It works.
I saw a guy use like a string and to like a pulley, so he goes like that, he turns it and then it comes forward also. But it's so janky.
You just need as little contact with the the camera as possible.
Correct.
To not shake it. Yeah.
Correct.
But once you get a motorized one, you realize how much time you can save because it's so consistent.
I just trying to like make up for whatever I don't have in equipment with in terms of production, and like there's so many like plugins that you can just use to like offset all the things that you want to do. Yeah, stabilizing, warp stabilization especially.
Yeah,
and like basically some simple tricks that like make your shots look nicer.
Ooh,
I always like just invest some time in like watching those kind of videos.
Speaking of making your shots look nicer, I bought some stuff for aesthetics as well. So remember, I got Godex and Govi mixed up, right? It's because I bought this. It's this brand lights.
LED.
So LED strips. So I bought 2 boxes of this. I'm gonna put them somewhere around my table.
Wi-Fi control?
Yes, Wi-Fi control.
Google, it better be. I mean, who has time for remote?
Exactly. Yeah. And then got this as well. So LIFX.
This is that very expensive light brand.
Is this?
It's about 200 plus.
Wait. I need to Google that. What are they called?
Yeah, LIFX is quite famous.
Yeah. LIFX.
Yeah.
They do like straight light bars.
Oh, okay. I've seen this. All right.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna do any of these yet. I'm still waiting. Like when I can build my PC, I still need to buy a new case because I didn't bring my case over. I gotta get PSU. I gotta rebuild my system. Then I'll do the whole thing.
Nice.
So right now it's still pretty basic.
Nice.
Studio makeover.
Yes.
Nice.
Wait, so you don't have a case? Are you just running your computer out of just the components outside?
No. I'm using the Aftershock laptop.
It's so funny.
Right? Yeah. It's just like all scattered.
One of those sibling
everywhere.
Hey, actually, one of my ideas was to put it on a wall. Like I have seen some, but I'm like, you know what? No, I don't want because it's so dusty.
No, that was my initial idea. You know where my banner is, right? Like the billboard. Like I initially decided that I'm gonna put my computer up there, right? That's why I bought like a E-ATX case, which is like the huge server cases.
Yeah.
And you can mount them on the wall. But like from the things that I've done with it, and like you see, like even now the front part of the case, I just left it open because now and then I'll be changing stuff inside. So like if I mounted it, I have to like clean or adjust something, I'll just like lose my life. If like anything happens to it,
honestly, if you want to mount it on the wall, it has to be water cooled. Otherwise, forget it.
Yeah, it's like no point. All the effort, it takes to mount it on the wall.
Oh, sorry. Going back to the lights, James. Do you know that the Nanoleaf headquarters is in Canada?
Toronto. Oh, I didn't know that. But they're also
drop someone an email.
Yeah. Wait, how did you get in contact with them? That was the PR company here or them directly?
Yeah. So the Singapore branch here. I got in contact. I contacted who contacted who. I don't know who contacted who, but because I did the first video through Synced by District, right? And so obviously they knew about it because they were the distributors to Synced.
Yep.
And that video was doing really well. I think it's at 24,000 views.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, it did really well. And so when I spoke to them, I was like, hey, you guys got anything new coming out? And they told me about these wooden panels that that was pretty interesting, I must say. But
I saw the review. It looks damn cool.
Yeah, it looks good, but it's more expensive than the normal Nanoleaf, the RGB ones.
Yeah, and
confusing.
And the number of tiles you get and all that, right? I saw your video.
Exactly.
That doesn't make sense.
So after I made that video, I checked the price and I was like, wait, something doesn't make sense. You know, sometimes when you're sponsored things, you don't check the prices. And so when I checked the price, I was like, wait, something doesn't add up. The wooden one has only a bicolor, so means either warm or cool light.
Yep.
Whereas this one has like freaking RGB. It can react to your monitors, you know, the light and effects, that kind of thing. And it's cheaper. I was like, that's very strange. But I guess
it makes sense. Actually, it makes sense why it's more expensive.
Why would you say so?
Material cost.
It's plastic. It's not even actual wood.
Oh, I thought it's real wood.
No.
Yeah, I also thought it's real
No,
wood.
it's not.
Okay, then it's a perceived value already.
I'm being
That's
very
why it's
truthful
more
here
expensive.
because it's not actual wood.
It's
It
not
still looks
affected by
great.
it,
I mean,
it's
it still looks
fine.
great. The concept of it was just so that when you turn off the lights, it doesn't look like some freaking light panel that
Yeah.
isn't working.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
like an actual piece. So it does look good, but like a designer, architect kind of person will immediately know it's not real wood. Yeah, and it
Yeah.
will be so much more expensive if it was real wood. Trust me.
Oh,
To get
definitely.
Yeah.
light true wood, and
It would
for
have to be
that
super
that
thin. Yeah.
yeah, it will be super expensive. So there's no way that they could have done it. But because they came out with this series called Elements, I'm predicting that there will be others like stone or other kind of materials coming out, even bamboo or something like that, So looking forward to that.
That'd be
But yeah, the branch in Nanoleaf, they're really nice. It's all ladies, 3 ladies, I think they're running it.
Oh, wow.
So really, really nice people. They even sent me some stickers. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it's like the NDP sticker, so it's really cool. I'll show you guys in the webcam. So I don't know if it's reflected.
Oh wow, nice.
Right? Nice, right?
Nice.
Yeah. It's so cool. And it was like so thoughtful because it's like, I mean, they didn't have to send
So
it. But they
patriotic.
just
Yeah.
they just sent it to me like, hey Sean, we're gonna send you something. That was like in a goodie bag, and then there was these stickers, and then there was like Yakun Kaya. I was like, what? Okay. This is
James,
something
are you
should send
gonna-
to James?
Yeah, James, are you gonna appear in like that? Every time they show like, oh, Singaporeans overseas, and then they'll like show the
Oh.
person, and then they're like, oh, I
Community,
miss
right?
home.
I don't think I'm the role model. I don't think I don't think I'm the kind of person that Singapore wants to show as someone
You
overseas.
straight away first thing you say, thank God I left the country.
I will be on this side like bye.
Oh golly. Do you anything
Yeah.
you've been up to?
Okay, so I've decided to make a new channel. And it will be like a diary for me. Something like I'll just do like react videos and like I'll do maybe like a bit more about how I live my student life and how I get by with like productivity and all that stuff. How I
Nice.
improve my own productivity, how I manage YouTube and work and school, even though I'm not like the best at all of it, but like how I managed to like get by and still, kind of survive. How I'm trying to set up my different sources of income and all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Will be in that channel. Yeah, so more like a diary, more personal compared to Random Review Squad, where there will still be reviews. In fact, I'm going to start doing game reviews already. I have some videos recorded. Recently been playing games like Horizon. Pokemon just released a new game called Pokemon Unite. I played small indie games, so like things that don't take up a lot of time, but like can actually make like good content on the main channel as well. And of course, products as well. I've got another keyboard video coming up and all those kind of stuff.
How's your programming board game thing coming along?
Oh yeah, okay. So the programming, the card game, so the coding card game actually released a Kickstarter a few days back, maybe 2 weeks back, and the Kickstarter is actually ending tomorrow, I think.
Oh, okay.
So if you all want to go and back it, please do go and back it. It's called Potato Pirates Battle Chips. It's actually a really good game. Like honestly, like people should play it. And they're like, we are just a small group of guys, or like not just guys, like a small team who just came up with it and worked really hard for it to get it up and going. So and the drawing and art style is all very cute. The plushies are all very cute.
Yeah, I saw the video. It's really nice.
Yeah, you guys should go and support and like. I do have a link. Maybe I can send to James again.
Yeah. I'll put some B-roll of the game. Actually, I was gonna say once you got it in production, right? If you're able to send, because where I'm staying, right, is the townhouse in the university, surrounded by families and kids and all that. So I can do a video. So if you want,
that'd be great. That'd be amazing for the company as well. Yeah,
happy to do that.
It's an amazing game. I've been playing a lot of it, play testing a lot, and like working on new expansions and all that. So that's out there right now.
Go check it out.
I will be leaving the company in like a week or so.
Oh, okay.
2 weeks in fact, because school is starting again. But I will be leaving, but continuing as like the community manager for them. So they can create a community around this game and like start doing events and like start talking to the people, how game communities are. So I'll have to do that as well, some marketing on that end. Yeah, so that's kind of what's been going on with my life. And of course, going back to school, final year project, which is a huge thing. It's going to take up a lot of my mind, a lot of my time, and a lot of my brain cells. And it's ironical because it's related to the brain. I have to, there's this thing called the BCI, the brain computer interface, which translates your mind waves into emotions, and like you can relate it to emotions, and you can relate it to certain things outside. And I need to make a game that will improve your mood based on your mind waves. Right.
Wow.
So
that's called Pornhub.
What?
Not everyone visits Pornhub to feel better.
It's the best game.
It's the best game, eh?
It increases your mood.
What's the game? The game is what? Don't get caught, is it?
Don't get caught, use a VPN. Yeah.
Oh, time to plug in a VPN. Sponsored by NordVPN.
Are we secretly sponsored? That you should sponsor us on VPN.
Yeah. I don't think Nord wants to be associated with using VPN for porn.
Dude, I got it a bit of trouble when I did one of the VPN shoutouts for one of my vlogish videos that was like so the video was about my friend like throwing sex toys into a fish tank and
I saw that.
Then I plugged one of the VPN brands, and then I got a stern email about it wasn't following their guidelines. So I was like, okay. Then why don't you send me your guidelines?
Oh man.
But okay, fair enough.
No, but I used
the YouTube thing to just cut it off after that. Yeah,
that's a bit weird though. Like, but what's wrong with that? Like,
there's nothing wrong with it, but they're just being overly protective because it's a company and a brand.
It's an image thing, lah. So if
what do you think people are using your VPN for? Protecting themselves? No.
Message to like Nord and Surfshark: people don't just use VPN for Netflix. Okay, it's a lot more than that.
No,
I would say the majority for that.
That's how they got famous in the first place. That's why VPNs got famous. That's how Hotspot Shield got famous.
In Singapore, at least. Their new tagline should be "Get off with Surfshark." Get off. Shall we like end it off with like the tech news of the week or the last couple of weeks?
Yes, we should.
Like
we should.
He just wants to show off his Elgato.
Yeah.
Who?
No,
aren't you going to show off your Elgato Stream Deck or something?
No. He's going to talk about the Steam Deck.
No, I'm talking about
a good segue, guys.
That's a very good segue, actually.
Steam Deck.
Linus, in your heart out. Okay, that was a better segue. No, not Stream Deck. Steam Deck.
Yeah, the Valve Steam Deck.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so Valve released. Okay, so this is my one. Valve released a portable, like a game console kind of thing. It's called the Steam Deck, not Stream Deck. Okay, so it's on paper, it's extremely powerful. Okay, it's an AMD. Is it an APU? I think it's an APU, right?
I think it's APU.
Yeah, it supposedly has RDNA 2 graphics. And it looks awesome, and it makes so much sense. And apart from, like, to me, in so many ways, it should kill the Switch, but it won't. No, you see, okay, here's the thing. People who love the Switch love the games that come with the Switch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not going to kill the Switch in the sense that those games are not available on the Steam store anyway. Okay, but for everyone else, like for me, I actually won a Switch a couple of years ago. I won a Switch when I went to watch the Dota Internationals at Bounty Arena. All right, and I won a Switch. I sold it 3 days later because these Switches to me are like printers in the sense that the company makes money. Like in printers, the companies make money from the cartridges.
Yeah.
When it comes to the Switch, Nintendo makes so much more money out of the game because, I got the console for free, but every freaking game is $60, $70, $80, even $90.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Most of them are considered major games per se. Like,
Yeah, and they are all Nintendo exclusive. It is.
Yeah,
I really don't like Nintendo in the sense that when it comes to games, they are like Apple. Their business model is very much like Apple. But the Steam Deck, I can just buy the Steam Deck and I've already got every game in my Steam library. I don't have to purchase anything extra. It's all there already. And they've done a lot. Like, okay. And the cool thing about now that the fact that I'm in Canada, I managed to reserve one.
Oh, shit.
You can't reserve one if you're in Singapore.
Unless you have a friend in Canada.
Yeah, we can buy it for you lah.
No thanks. I have a powerful computer. I can play here.
Yeah, bring your computer on the bus.
Wait. Okay. I mean, we have to. Okay, like you talk about the Steam Deck first, but we will definitely segue into cloud gaming in a bit. Like I foresee it. But
yeah, that's the thing. The Steam Deck is supposed to be two things. One is that, so you've got your entire game library. You can install it. Even AAA titles will run fine on it because the screen is 720p. So even like their AMD APU should be able to get you a good amount of frame rates. Valve has not mentioned this yet, at least not that I've seen, but I believe they're also going to integrate their Steam Play, which is cloud gaming. They're going to integrate some form of cloud gaming on it. I'm almost certain. Because you see, it comes in 3 tiers. Like 3 different tiers in terms of storage and some other features for the Steam Deck. Okay, so you've got so the first one, which to me doesn't make sense, is a 64 gigabyte Steam Deck. All right, and the storage is eMMC. Okay, so for those who are not aware, eMMC is a very slow form of NAND flash storage. Okay, it's still faster. It's still faster than hard drive in a way, but it's basically the exact same platform as your multimedia card. That's why MMC, but it's embedded. That's why eMMC. Okay, so that's the cheapest one. So it's like they made it as cheap as possible to get to that price, like the Nintendo Switch. But at 64 gigabytes, you have to account how much storage will be taken up by the Linux operating system. Okay. And some games, the installation is more than 64 gigabytes already.
Yeah.
So
if you are going for that option, you wouldn't choose to play those large games, right?
That's true. So you are limited in that sense. And you're also limited, probably if you're going to stick to cloud gaming, then that's fine. That's more than enough.
At that point in time, it seems like a smarter option, don't you think? Like, you just buy the cheaper one and then you do cloud gaming.
When you cloud game on the go, you are not dependent on your components or your specs. You're dependent on your data. So I just don't see how cloud gaming on the go is going to be good anytime soon. So the second tier is 256 gigabytes on an SSD. And then the third tier is 512 gigabytes on an SSD. So I reserve, and I had to pay for this. I paid like 570 Canadian to reserve. Ooh. So that no matter once it released, there will definitely be one for me. So I ordered the 256 because I think that's the sweet spot. Because 256 should be enough for most games. Yeah, definitely enough.
You download one time good one GTA, one time good one Battlefield, gone already.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. After they released the reservation and all that, right? Valve announced that there will be space for additional storage. Not additional storage, but you can upgrade it. It's upgradable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I suspect it's a short form M2 or something. I doubt it's NVMe. I think it will cost too much, so it's probably like a regular M2 SATA SSD. So that should be quite easily like swappable. Yeah, upgradable. So that's fine. And that's another thing I really like about it. It's open source. The operating system open source, which means there will also definitely some guy is going to create emulator for it. So it becomes an emulator for all your different other legacy consoles that you love.
Nice.
So honestly, it is a tech geek's dream. This.
To be honest, it is.
On paper, we'll see. I hope that I get it soon. It's supposed to arrive second quarter of next year.
Wow.
Yeah, long time more.
My keyboard was a long wait, but wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think this is also sort of like an interesting. If they see that not a lot of people want to reserve or what, right? Then they might not.
People are confirmed buy lah. It's
it's a definite thing.
The competitor is not even Switch. The competitor is the PlayStation. and the Xbox in this case.
Yeah,
I feel they are such good competitors for that.
Yeah, because it's a powerful machine.
Yeah.
And there's an additional deck that you can buy. They haven't released information on the deck. They haven't released a price. But what you've got with the specs that they mentioned is a computer.
Yeah.
You bring it home, plug it into a deck, use it as a computer because it's still a Linux-based operating system.
Yeah.
It is absolutely brilliant. I'm glad they did it. I feel like they took way too long to do it. But if they're gonna take this long to do it, I hope that they do it right. And I haven't been this excited about something in a very, very, very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is good. I mean, I wouldn't buy it because of the controller, but like because I prefer gaming on a keyboard and mouse. Only with acceptance to the Switch. Because the Switch bopian, you have to use the controller, right? But it is a very good option, and I think definitely it's making gaming more accessible to more people. I think it's the right direction. To be running like Steam, a games repository rather than a game console that has set games that you have to buy.
Yeah, and speaking of, don't forget, you can buy this Steam Deck, and if you want, just get the free games on the Steam store.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many good free games on the Steam store, and you're set.
You're set. But of course, you would want to ensure that they have compatibility for the controllers, like the control.
Oh, it's made by Steam, so there'll definitely be.
Yeah, but the games aren't made by Steam, right?
Yeah, so but
that's an
almost
issue,
every game. Okay, don't count Dota and all that lah. But like most free games, RPG, racing games. It's gonna be very basic. What's the word? HID? Yeah. So
HID
like
display.
No. HID as in like your keyboard and your mouse.
Right.
Yeah. So in that one, I don't see a problem unless like the game is not meant to be played on a controller.
I mean, like you see, like Counter-Strike. I know there are first-person shooter games like Battlefield that can be used.
Yeah.
Controllers, but I can't see Counter-Strike being used on a controller. Your reaction would just be too slow for it.
Yeah.
Right?
To be honest, yeah, but usually controller they got auto aim lah. So
but then how is that fair to the people that are using mice and keyboards?
Exactly.
Either that or you create a secondary world where it's only controllers,
Yeah, which like you kind of lose crossplay in that sense, which a lot of people actually want.
Do you all know how Battlefield does it, or like more? Yeah.
They have like a small amount of auto aim in terms of like, but of course, controller users are pretty seasoned with their controllers. Like they know it well, right? Like in terms of like the aiming and all that. If I played Battlefield on a freaking controller, I wouldn't make it. Anywhere. So,
yeah, me too. I hate it. I only use it for like racing games. Other than that, I can't.
It's not intuitive at all for me. And like, I think controllers are like people who from young they played PlayStation and like controller games, and they are used to it. And for them, it's okay. Like for them, it's like great. Like it's better than a mouse for them.
Okay.
In that sense, because of the trigger. Like for them, the trigger, like this action is way better than like clicking downwards for them.
I can see that.
And the thumb movement basically. Yeah. Hopefully James can release a review on the Steam Deck. Love to see it.
Yep.
And then I can ask him to send over here.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, keep on waiting, buddy.
Yeah, he waited like a year for it, and then he's just going to send it off to you.
Send it off. Right.
Hopping across the world.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So that's the Steam Deck. Let's move on to another news. I think we have to talk about the lovely and our favorite company, Apple, bringing in the new iPad Mini. And it might be called the iPad Pro Mini. Let's just talk about, like, before we go to the article, do you still think the Mini is worth the buy?
What's the screen size?
The screen size of the Mini is, let me see, USB-C, A15 processor.
Wait, it's size. Not even the M1.
It's not the M1 chip. It's not the M1 chip. I have to go and search it up with Apple. So it's been so long since they released the Mini. That's the thing. Like
but the thing is, it's not an M1 chip. So why are they calling it the Pro?
7.9 inch.
7.9
inch screen. with bezels. But I don't know whether now they have less bezels. The initial one was the A12 Bionic chip.
Yeah. So the only difference now is that USB-C.
USB-C with A15 chip.
Which is on the iPhone 12, right?
iPhone 13, I think.
The one that's coming up.
Okay, let me read this then. The iPad Mini 6 will swap the Lightning port for USB-C, particularly useful for creatives, blah, blah, blah. Can add external hard drives and best cameras. Internals could pack a punch and feature an A15 processor, which will be in the iPhone 13. I don't understand why they would do that. You can just put the M1 chip. For design, front page tag claim that iPad Mini is set to receive flat treatment, getting the very familiar flat sides and back. So they're basically changing. It's a mini iPad Pro. No.
My guess is they're using the exact same logic board as the old iPad Mini. That's why they're sticking to the A architecture.
A15.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if they put the M1 chip, then they are afraid that it might take over the iPhone market because it's a 7.9 inch screen. It's not much bigger than a 6 point something inch. Like what iPhone 13 Pro Max or whatever. Right. And the cameras on the iPads now are literally the iPhone cameras. Right. The one on the iPad Pro is with the LiDAR and ultra wide and everything. So like if they were to do the mini, see, it's in a very weird situation whereby it's neither a computer, it's neither a phone, but it's struggling to be a tablet,
Wait, who's using an iPhone here?
I don't use an iPhone. Sean is using iPhone.
Sean is using iPhone? Which one?
11 Pro?
So the question is, your screen right now is what, 5 point something inch?
6, right? 6 point something.
6,
The Pro is 6 or something. I think 6.
5.7.
Yeah, it's not the big one. Yeah, but 5 something.
Your hand.
So the question here is, so let's say let's speak to an iPhone user, Sean. Would you consider the iPad Pro Mini XL, XR with wings, whatever you want to call it? I hate the naming convention, but that's a different story. Would you consider that a replacement? I think the answer is no, right?
No. The reason why, firstly, because
it comes with LTE, by the way. It can come with LTE and everything. So like it can behave exactly like an iPhone.
Yeah. But the thing is that I don't need that size. That size doesn't fit in my pocket. Yep. You see, the thing about the iPad, right? This is the iPad Air, and this is the iPhone, right? Anything in between is just neither here nor there. So it's so weird.
It's weird because that's why I'm saying like. Then you would just get an iPad.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get an iPad Mini. Why would you get an iPad Mini?
For kids.
No, that's why
for kids.
That's why I asked Sean that question, because if Apple thinks that they want to segregate or separate the iPad Pro Mini so people don't use that as an iPhone replacement, it's not going to be, because no one in their right mind, maybe that's a bit harsh, but a lot of people are not going to do that because it's just not.
I'm not going to put that
convenient
on my face.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
And I know a lot of people now use headset and handset or whatever, but a lot of people still hold the phone to their face. And you don't want to look like you belong in an institution by using an iPad Pro Mini on your face.
You're going to use the iPad Mini to, do the trace together, check in and all that. You're going to look like an idiot.
No, it just doesn't make sense. So
it doesn't make sense that way. It doesn't make sense upwards as well, because the article literally says, it might be a computer replacement, your laptop replacement.
Apple says that about everything.
No, it can't. It can't be.
Yeah, it's not.
It doesn't have the M1
experience
chip.
is different.
Yeah.
It's not big enough a screen for anything. 7.9 inch is such a weird size. It's not going to fit in your hand. It's not going to fit in your pocket. Like, it's excess space in your bag now. But like, and it's not, it's not as powerful as like the M1 chip, and you want it to be a laptop, right? I understand there's pencil support, but like, who is going to buy this? Who? I would just buy an iPad Pro or iPad Air at most.
How much cheaper is it compared to the iPad Pro? Do you know?
Let me pull it up. iPad. Okay, it is quite cheap basically. Okay, the iPad is actually cheaper than the Mini.
What? Say again?
The iPad is cheaper than the Mini, but of course the iPad is the older one, right?
Oh, okay. Not the M1 version lah.
No. iPad A12 and iPad Mini A12. The iPad is cheaper.
Okay.
The iPad is $100 cheaper.
No, I don't see a market for this. Strange.
The iPad Air is 879. The Mini is 599.
And the iPad Pro is 1,000 plus, right?
iPad Pro is 1K. Yeah, 1.1 or 1.2 lah.
I think it's only for people who want the experience but cannot afford an iPad Pro.
Why would anyone want to do that? If you're one of those people, please don't do that.
No,
just go to the Apple store and experience it.
No, to me, I feel like the people who buy the iPad Pro, Mini or iPad Pro Mini, it's not because of specs. It's just that they want to say they have an iPad and they cannot afford the iPad Pro. This sounds very harsh to say, but I really feel like that's going to be the target audience. Those who cannot afford the iPad Pro.
Tablet. Okay. It is.
They want Apple.
Okay, to be honest, it is in that weird size of like a Kindle, possibly for people who just want to browse but don't want to carry around something as big as an iPad. So imagine if you weren't a techie kind of guy, you were like maybe just a normal person, or ladies, they might not want to bring out something this big, something half the size that could still function as an iPad and not a phone, bigger than a phone. That's kind of a sweet spot for them.
Yeah, that's the key
niche market. It's a very niche market.
No, but that's the key thing that Sean said. It's not really for techies, and that's sort of the pattern when it comes to Apple products. Apart from like designers and editors and all that, right? It's not really for techies because a lot of techies will complain they don't see the point.
Yep,
it's really about the brand. It's about fashion.
Yeah,
and that's
consumers. Yeah.
I mean, consumers.
Yeah, I can see word. Like if I might not, if I like to read, I might not want something as big as an iPad. Kind of thing. Yeah, but
if you want a Kindle, then you can kind of like
option.
Get it. But that's a techie's point of view, lah. That's a techie's point of view. I can buy a Fire tablet, blah blah. So, but but it's not an Apple, you see. So that's the thing that I think for us, we might never understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just don't like the fact that like I don't know. Maybe it's just this article. They kind of like put it there and then say it's like, oh, it's a laptop replacement. Yeah,
I think they're just stating what Apple calls it, lah.
Gizmodo lah. Gizmodo can do better. Come on,
Gizmodo. Man. No. Gizmodo is very inconsistent. They're sort of like The Verge, in my opinion. And I think we're gonna get a lot of flack about this, but they're so dependent on who actually writes it.
Yeah, it's not in any way. But I mean, with iPad OS 15, which I'm actually using the beta right now, they say there's going to be like full computer level usage of the web browser itself. So like you can technically run cloud IDEs and you can run like programming stuff on cloud on websites and browser. That kind of brings towards the computer side, but at that point you would need a bigger screen. Like you can't be coding on a small screen. You can't be doing those like browser level tasks on a small screen. Right.
Yep.
So it's really like what Sean said. It's a very niche market.
Yeah, and speaking of that browser experience, how certain things are catered to a desktop, mobile, and now even some websites are catered to iPads. What is the iPad Mini going to look like? It's either going to be a weird formatting. How big of a tab are you going to type in?
To be honest, even on the iPad now, also a lot of apps look very weird. Like
it is
if
strange.
You watch the my review that I did, Lazada app, Shopee app, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, I saw it looks ridiculous.
All these are just small squares in the middle that are from the iPhone for sure.
Yeah.
And then like when I connect my iPad first to like I forgot what I was connecting to. I think my Google. On Google, it doesn't say iPad OS. No, it says Mac OS.
Oh.
It says Mac OS X for some reason. So it seems like they're just pulling Mac OS X or Mac OS and then they're just stripping it of features and adding in iPad features and then shipping it. So like it's a bit
like we said, it's not for techies. It's not for techies. That little niche of people who want it. So it's an option.
Yeah. Anyway, we're not expecting it to do well.
No, we are not.
Sean, do you have any tech news that you want to bring up? If not, we can see what else Theo has.
No, I have the Loop Deck here. You guys can't see it. Can you see it?
Oh, that's the alternative to the Stream Deck, right?
Right.
Yeah.
How is that doing?
Loop Deck actually started with like, the bigger Loop Deck boards where it's made for editors. So basically I got in contact with them to try out one of them, but they, instead of sending me like the editor kind of thing, where you have
Send you the streamer
sensitive knobs and like the riser, what do you call that knob? The one that you see on sound boards, the little
fader.
The fader,
faders, things like that. They sent me this, which was more of a live streamer tool because I can't use any of the buttons for hotkeys because it's all touchscreen.
Right.
But anyway, I think there are some uses for it, but I haven't actually gotten too deep into it yet. I think there is a I want to find out if there is a way for average people to use it easily. So like not meant for streamers or gamers.
Do you have
or
like a
even
streamer
editors.
friend you can lend it to, and then
I
you
do,
ask them to like
but
use?
You think about it, streamers use it like once every hour or something like that to change their screen, right?
Yeah.
It's not very
Depends.
often.
Depends.
but
No, because
I
what streamers do is like they will add sound effects and like splash screens and like they can open up different windows using the hotkeys and
True.
yeah, it's got a lot more macroing involved now for them, but like
Yeah.
I mean average use, not really much you can do about it.
Yeah. But I mean, because I don't game, so I want to find a way that it can be useful for me. So that's my angle for that video. But
Right.
honestly, I don't have much tech going on. I've been making smaller videos, like shorter, more simpler videos. I recently made one on this wallet, which houses an
Apple
AirTag.
AirTag, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't
cool.
done my video yet. The AirTag is still sitting there.
Yeah, AirTags are like a bit of a it came out too fast for the accessories to catch up. So I have like lots of accessories from like Nomad and stuff like that are still pending shipping. And like the AirTag phase is already out. But
I just bought a Pokeball one. Like it's just a Pokeball.
Oh wow.
You're kidding. I didn't know that.
yeah, it's a Pokeball.
Yeah.
All right, Thiru, one last tech news before we wrap up.
All right. We have the Google Pixel 6.
The weird
Google
looking
Pixel
bag.
6.
I don't know. Was that confirmed?
Yes, it is.
It was confirmed, so that's how it's going to look?
Cases for it already. They even have cases for it already.
Holy. Okay.
Yeah, it is to be honest, I feel like it looks damn good. I don't know
Really?
about you. I feel like it looks good.
I feel it looks like someone stepped on a Pokeball.
Yeah,
Wait.
that's actually, I also thought it looks like a Pokeball, to be honest, at first.
Wait, that looks so weird.
Yeah,
It's,
I'm sorry, this is the first time I'm seeing it, but
Yeah, it's solved the issue of like one huge camera bump on one side and then like an imbalanced phone.
Yeah,
if everything is huge, there is no bump.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But technically, this is the Pixel that everyone has been waiting for.
Yes, me
Why
too.
the
This
red
is it.
though?
Why red?
Why the red?
They might have
That's
different
the orange.
colors.
That's the orange that the white Pixel. I can show you my phone.
Hmm.
I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh wait, I need to show this camera. But like there's an orange on the side.
Yeah.
The accent.
That comes- that
Okay.
ships with the
It's a
white
consistent
pixel.
thing.
Yeah, it's
No, but
it's-
I'm looking at Tom's guide and the picture, it looks sort of in between that orange and red to me. So I'm not sure.
Right. It looks
yeah,
more red
and
than orange.
they do have two variants. Like one is white and one is like a lighter orange variant. So that's two different phones. And this will be housing their ARM chip, white chip.
Yeah, see, this is why I'm super excited, but also very scared.
It is not as good as the Snapdragon 888, but it can still perform up to that level.
Yeah. No, the thing is, with Google Pixels, the teething period is already huge with standard Qualcomm chips. Can you imagine the teething period with their own proprietary ARM chip? There's going to be so many issues. I might have to wait an entire year for the one after before it's like
you see,
buy-worthy.
that's the problem with Google. They always release something good. And then they like one part, right? They will do something that will make you not want to buy the thing. Like when I bought the Pixel 4 XL, the main thing was no ultra wide camera, and like the cloud storage or something. I forget already, but like no ultra wide camera at all on my phone.
Yeah.
But this one has everything. This one is a huge display, AMOLED display. Thankfully, they are keeping the display, but the resolution is being dropped. I think now phone companies are realizing that 2K res, 4K res on the phone is really no.
Yeah, I've been saying it forever. Like 2K, 4K, like Sony. You guys, please lah, stop it. Okay, you're draining batteries like crazy for a 4K screen on a 7-inch screen. Are you serious?
Yeah, it's really no point. Yeah. So it's 1080p resolution, about 6+ inches of display. I actually like the design, to be honest. The glossy back, but I hopefully maybe it's plastic. I don't know. I feel like the plastic.
It's probably a kind of plastic, yeah.
Yeah, I actually like the matte finish for the Pixel, like the matte back. It's actually quite nice. It feels very soft and it feels good to hold. But I don't know whether this will become a fingerprint magnet at that point. And you'll definitely have to put a like a protector on it, like a case, right? Of course, USB-C charging. Apparently the punch hole screen is going to be in the center top. And it'll have 8 gigs of RAM or 12 gigs on the Pro, and up to 512 gigs of storage, and 120 hertz, right? 120 hertz. 50 megapixel wide, 12 megapixel ultra wide, 4,600 milliamp hour battery. Thankfully.
That's been their problem for so many models. They always have an too small battery.
Mine is 3,500. 3,500 on that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And that's on the regular one. The Pro is stated to have 5,000.
5,000, yes, which is great.
So and
it also has a 48 megapixel telephoto lens, which makes the Pixel 6 Pro very attractive. Telephoto, ultra wide. The display is a plastic OLED.
I was going to say, no, so it's a plastic substrate to the OLED screen, which is the last phone that I know had that was the LG phone that I had. I forgot what it's called. The V30, I think. Yeah, V30.
Ooh.
So it's a cheaper form. It doesn't use a glass, or it uses a plastic substrate. The problem with it is that sometimes when you put it under reflection, you can sort of see a bit of warping and it doesn't look as nice.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised actually. Just when you said it, I saw it also. So it's a plastic OLED and not AMOLED. So the colors also won't be as nice as the AMOLED screen.
Why?
But it will still be
it?
good. I think it's a cost thing. I think it's a cost thing. For all you know,
better and then lose that.
For all you know, it's just so that the Pro doesn't cost that much more than the.
But Pixel, they always charge it so much more. Like they always put it at like premium level pricing, but it's not giving premium stuff. Like
it's not about premium stuff. The Pixel has always been the showcase of Google to say like this is what we can do, or at least. Like the most recent ones are like, this is what we can do without using like the best specs or everything, which is what Apple has been doing their whole time. Is that if you can sort of have your entire ecosystem on your own hardware, you can make it a lot more efficient.
Exactly.
Which is what Apple has done. So this is Google's way of saying that, our operating system is just as good. It's just that there are so many variants, so many brands that there are always issues.
Yeah, I am looking forward to the camera. So let's see how the camera does.
Yes, I might actually buy it depending.
I'm so tempted.
I'm very tempted.
My phone is still 2 years.
If I have a job by then, I'll buy it. I'm still looking for a job.
But I'm really looking forward to this phone. Like this is the phone that I really wanted when I bought this phone. But it didn't come out. It didn't happen.
Yeah, this is what I wanted when I didn't buy the 4 and the 5 because it disappointed me so much. Now finally I'm like, okay, this looks pretty good. So
that's great. Yeah, I think that's it for the news. And I think we can come to an end for the podcast. This will be going up on James's channel, if I'm not wrong.
Technobabble.
Technobabble. So don't forget to subscribe to Technobabble, where James is. Don't forget to subscribe to Sean from Sean Co. YouTube channel. And do subscribe to Random Review Squad as well. And if you all have your side channels, you all can see also. Now we all have side channels, right? Somewhat.
Except Sean. Sean doesn't have a second channel, do you?
Sean, you should. Sean Co.
Because he only got one name.
Sean Co's Nation or something like that. Yeah.
What's your Chinese name?
No. Not answering that.
That's a loaded question.
Gosh. I got an email just before we end. I got an email from this Russian lady who like started the email off with, "We are looking for a China photographer / videographer." Then I'm like, what? So basically, just because I'm Chinese, she thinks I'm from China. I'm like, okay.
Russians are running their own planet lah. It's different. Like they're living in their own time zone in their own. It's a whole different.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, great talking with you guys.
And, great catching up, guys. It's been a while. Hopefully we can do it again since James is kind of settled in.
Get your asses to Canada.
Yeah, what?
I miss Toronto so much.
Yeah, man, just come over. Even if it's for a visit, just come. We do a special
never
podcast.
been. So...
I don't know how long I need to be quarantined.
Yes.
Actually,
okay. Here's the thing. Starting September, as long as you're fully vaccinated, you don't need to quarantine in Canada anymore.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Oh, and it's gonna be winter. Oh, that's.
Yeah. Oh, but it needs to be one of their approved vaccines. So as long as it's not Sinovac, I think you're good.
What did I take?
Mine is Pfizer. How can you?
Yeah, Pfizer is good. Pfizer is good.
Okay, guys, this was great catching up. Hopefully we can do another one pretty soon. So this has been Tech Talks. I guess that's what we're calling it, right?
Yeah. What episode is it? 4?
This is episode 4.
4, yeah. Cool.
Yeah, episode 4. Hopefully, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Take care, guys.
Yeah, take care.
So
Bye-bye.
nice.
Bye.